Good day, students. You are welcome to Top Form Education Associates. My name is Olubayo Marilyn Kende, your mathematics teacher. Well, today on mathematics, we are going to be looking at a whole new topic titled Perimeter of Plane Shapes. Perimeter of plane shapes. Now, our lesson objectives. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to use measurement to find the perimeter of regular and irregular shapes. Also, you should be able to use formula. Okay, she wants to use formula to calculate the perimeter of two-dimensional shapes such as rectangles, squares, and parallelograms. The instructional materials we'll be using for this lesson today is Essential Mathematics for Junior Secondary School, Book 1, and New General Mathematics for Junior Secondary School, Book 1. Now, straight away, let's go into measuring perimeters. Now, the perimeter of a plane shape is simply the length of its outside boundary. Okay, it is the length of its outside boundary. That is, it is the distance around its edges. The distance around the edges of any shape is called the perimeter. The perimeter of a plane shape can be measured using a ruler or a tape. Okay, you can measure the perimeter using a ruler or a tape. Now, regular and irregular shapes. An irregular shape do not have a definite shape or structure. Okay, an irregular shape is a shape that has no definite structure. It can be measured using a string. Okay, it can be measured using a string. While a regular shape, on the other hand, has well-defined edges. It has a well-defined structure or shape, and it can be straight lines or curves. Okay, and a regular shape can have edges as straight lines or smooth curves. Now, examples of these regular shapes are normal polygons such as rectangles, pentagons, and triangles, or it can even be circles. You can use a string to measure the perimeter of a regular shape. You can use a string or a ruler to measure the perimeter of a regular shape. Now, let's go to the units of measurement for perimeters. Now, perimeter is measured in length units. Okay, when we're talking of length units, we are referring to kilometers, meters, centimeters, and millimeters. Okay, so perimeters are measured in length units. Now, let's not forget that 1,000 millimeters make 1 meter. I hope you can still remember 100 centimeters make 1 meter and 1,000 meters make 1 kilometers. All these units will be very important in the course of our lesson today. Now, let's go into using formula to calculate perimeters. Let's derive the formula for calculating perimeters, and let's learn how to calculate for perimeter using formula. Now, the longest side of a rectangle is called the length. Okay, and it is usually represented by letter L. This is the longest side of a rectangle. This is a rectangle, and AB is the longest side here, and it is usually represented by L. And the shorter side is called the width or the breadth. Okay, and it is also represented by W or letter B, as shown in this diagram. Recall that opposite sides of rectangles are always equal. Okay, look at AB and DC. It is always equal and it is opposite. Okay, AB is opposite to AC and they have equal length. Okay, and AD is opposite to BC and they have equal length. Okay, now if you look at it, you see that AB is equal to DC and it is represented in length centimeters. Okay, likewise AD equals to BC. AD equals to BC. This is AD and this is BC. Okay, these are the shorter sides, these are the breadth, and it's represented by width centimeters. Now, to get the perimeter, we add all this together. Okay, AB plus BC plus CD plus DA will give us our perimeter. That is length plus width plus length plus width. Length, width, length, and width. Now, to simplify it, we say 2L plus 2W, which is 2 open brackets length plus width. So this is the formula for calculating perimeter of a rectangle. Now let's look at some examples to further buttress our points. Example 1. The length of a rectangular room is 5 meters and the width is 4 meters. Find the perimeter of the room. Okay, this is the rectangular room. Okay, and this is the longer side, 5 meters, and this is the shorter side, the width or the breadth, 4 meters. Now, we've been given the formula for calculating perimeter of a rectangle, and we said it is 2 length plus width. So simply we add length plus width and we multiply by 2 to give us our answers, which is 18 meters. So in essence, the perimeter of this rectangular room is 18 meters. Now let's look at another example. Example 2. Calculate the perimeter of a square whose length is 5,550 millimeters, and we are asked to leave our answer in meters. Okay, we're asked to calculate for the perimeter of this square. Okay, and the length is given as 5,550 meters, and we're asked to leave our answer in meters. Now, a square has 4 equal lengths. Okay, I'm sure we all know that a square has 4 equal sides. Okay, and it's represented here by letter L. Thus, the perimeter is length plus length plus length plus length. That is 4L. So we can say, since we've been given one of the lengths, we can just multiply it by 4 to give us the total length of the room. Okay, total length of this square. Now, 4 multiplied by this will give us our answer as 22,200 millimeters. Now, let's not forget that we're asked to leave our answer in meters. Okay, and in converting to meters, we divide by 1,000. Okay, so we divide this answer we've gotten here by 1,000. And our answer is 22.2 meters. Okay, so the perimeter of this square is 22.2 meters. I hope you understand. Now let's look at another example. A parallelogram has sides measuring 20 millimeters by 150 millimeters. What will be the length of side of a square having the same perimeter? Now look at this question very carefully. Okay, we said that the parallelogram has sides measuring this by this. What will be the length of the side of a square having the same perimeter? So the first thing to do here is to look for the perimeter of the parallelogram to get the length of side of a square. Okay, because we said that the square has the same perimeter as the parallelogram, and the perimeter for the parallelogram is not known yet. So our job here is to look for the perimeter of this parallelogram. Now let's go. The length of the parallelogram is given as 200 millimeters. This is our parallelogram. Okay, and the width of the parallelogram is given as 150 millimeters. Okay, now the perimeter, like we've found the formula, we've discovered that the formula for perimeter is 2 open bracket length plus width. So we just add 200 plus 150, then we get our answer and multiply by 2 as we get the answer as 700 millimeters. Therefore, the perimeter of this parallelogram is 700 meters. And since the perimeter is the same as the perimeter of the square, the perimeter of the square is also 700 millimeters. Now, let's look for the length of side of the square. So, therefore, remember we said that a square has 4 equal lengths, has 4 equal sides. So, since we've been given the perimeter as 700, we just find the length as P equals to 4 times length, and P is 700, so 700 equals to 4 times length. To get the length, we'll move the length over to this side and we divide by 4. Okay, so the answer is 175 millimeters. So in essence, the length of the square, the length of a side of the square is 175 millimeters. I hope you are following. Now, let's look at example 4. Example 4. The shortest side of a rectangle is 20 centimeters. Okay? And its perimeter is 90 centimeters. Find the length of the longer side. Find the length of the longer side. This is our rectangle. Okay? The length is not known. The longer side is not known. But the shorter side we're given as 20 centimeters. Remember that opposite sides of a rectangle are always equal. They are always equal. So if we do not know the length of this longer side, we also do not know the length of this side. But since we've been given the length of one of the shorter side, meaning the length of the other shorter side is also 20 centimeters. Okay, that's what has just been explained here. AB is equal to DC, the longer side, and AC is equal to BD, which is 20 centimeters here and also 20 centimeters over there. Now, when we add the two shorter sides together, we have 40 centimeters. Okay, we add them together to get the sum total of the shorter side. Now, the length of the other two sides will now be perimeter minus the sum of the shorter side. Okay, remember we've been given the perimeter as 90 centimeters. Okay, so we subtract our 40 from 90 centimeters and we get our answer as 50 centimeters. Now, to get the size of the longer side, okay, to get the size of the longer side, we divide by 2. Why are we dividing by 2? Because there are two equal sides here. We have two equal sides, and this 50 is the sum of the two sides. So to get the size of 1, we are going to divide by 2. So when we divide 50 by 2, we have 25 centimeters. Thus, AB here is 25 centimeters, and CD or DC here is also 25 centimeters. Thus, the size of the longer side is 25 centimeters. Now, we've been looking at perimeters of rectangles. Now it's time to check or to study the perimeter of triangles. We know we have different type of triangles. The first one we're going to be looking at today is the scalene triangle. Okay, a scalene triangle is a type of triangle that has no sides equal. Okay, it's a type of triangle that has none of its sides equal. For example, in this triangle we have here, AB is not equal to BC. Okay, and BC is not equal to AC. Whenever you see this sign, it indicates not equal to. Okay, this is the not equal to sign. All right, so AB is not equal to BC, and BC is not equal to AC, simply because the sides are not equal. So to get the perimeter, we add all together AB plus BC plus CA or plus AC. So that will give us our perimeter. Now let's look at the isosceles triangle. The isosceles triangle. An isosceles triangle has two sides equal. Okay, a scalene triangle has no sides equal, but an isosceles triangle has just two sides equal. Therefore, the perimeter will be given as A plus B. A plus A, because these two sides are equal here. Okay, so we can just abbreviate that to 2A plus B. Therefore, to get the perimeter of an isosceles triangle, we make use of the formula 2A plus B. Now, an equilateral triangle. An equilateral triangle is a type of triangle that has all its three sides equal. Okay, so the perimeter is given as A plus A, which can be translated as 3A. So in solving any question relating to perimeter of triangles, you have to take note of the type of triangle that you are given so as to be able to answer accurately. Now let's take some examples. Number 1, calculate the perimeter of a triangle whose dimensions are 1 meter 60 centimeters, 1 meter 80 centimeters, and 2 meters. In this question, I want you to pay very close attention to the units. Okay, look at the units. We have to convert these units to make all of them equal. Now, to solve this, we first convert all the units to meters, so they will be equal. Okay, so in turning centimeter to meter, we divide by 100. Okay, and when we do that, we have 1.60 meters, and we do the same for 1 meter 80 centimeters, and we have 1.80 meters. So very easily, if you look at this, you will see that they are unequal. Okay, they are unequal, so you can guess that it's a scalene triangle. So we use the formula, we add all together. Okay, so it will be 1.60 meters plus 1.80 meters plus 2 meters to give us 5.4 meters. So the perimeter of this triangle with the given dimension is 5.4 17.4 meters. Number 2, an isosceles triangle has a perimeter of 250 millimeters. If the length of one of the equal sides is 7 centimeters, 2 millimeters, calculate the length of the unequal side. Calculate the length of the unequal side. This is the triangle, okay? It's an isosceles triangle. Whenever you see this mark, you know that these two sides are equal. And we've been given one of the equal parts as 7 centimeters, 2 millimeters, meaning this other part is also 7 centimeters, 2 millimeters. Now we're asked to find the length of the part that is not given. So first of all, as usual, we equalize all the units. We make them the same. So in converting millimeters to centimeter, we divide by 100. Okay, to give us 25 centimeters, 250 millimeters now becomes 25 centimeters. And 7 centimeters, 2 millimeters now becomes 7.2 centimeters. Now the sum of the equal side, remember I said that if this part is 7.2 centimeters, this part also will be 7.2 centimeters. Why? Because they are of equal length. Now you add it together and you have 14.4 centimeters. Therefore, we have the length of the equal side, the sum total of the length of the equal side. But the perimeter has been given as 25 centimeters. Okay? And now we ask to find the length of the unequal side. So it's going to be 25 centimeters equal the length of the unequal side plus the sum of the equal side, which is 14.4 centimeters. So therefore, very easily, the length of the unequal side will be 25 centimeters minus 14.4 centimeters to give us our answer as 10.6 centimeters. So therefore, the length of the unequal side of this isosceles triangle is 10.6 centimeters. Now let's look at the trapezium. Okay, we've seen rectangle, we've seen triangle. Now let's look at the trapezium. A trapezium is a four-sided figure with a pair of parallel sides. Okay, look at this diagram here. This is the shape of a trapezium. Okay, and you will see that Z and X are parallel. Y and W are also parallel. So to get the perimeter of this trapezium is going to be W plus X plus Y plus Z. Okay? We also have an isosceles trapezium. The way we have an isosceles triangle, we have an isosceles trapezium. An isosceles trapezium has one pair of opposite sides parallel and non-parallel sides are equal in length. Okay, it has just one pair of opposite sides equal. Okay, like the same thing with the triangle. It has a pair of equal sides. Okay, and it also has a non-parallel side that are equal in length. These are the non-parallel side and they are equal in length. So therefore, the perimeter to find the formula for finding the perimeter of this isosceles trapezium is X plus Y plus X plus Z, which can be summarized as 2X plus Y plus Z. Let's look at some examples. Let's take some examples. An isosceles trapezium has a perimeter of 50 centimeters. It has a perimeter of 50 centimeters. If the sizes of the unequal parallel sides, take note, if the sizes of the unequal parallel sides are 12 and 8 centimeters, calculate the sizes of one of the equal sides. Okay? We're given the length or the sizes of the unequal parts of this trapezium. So we're asked to find the length of the equal parts. Okay, and we're also given the perimeter. So the perimeter is 50 centimeters. Now, to find this question, we sum the unequal sides. And the sum is 20 centimeters. That's 8 centimeters plus 12 centimeters to give us 20 centimeters. Now, the equal side will now be the perimeter minus the sum of the unequal side. Okay? The sum of the unequal side to give us 30 centimeters. So to get one of the equal side, we divide by 2. So therefore, the length of one of the equal side is 15 centimeters. The length of one of these parts is 15 centimeters. Now, number 2. A picture measures 30.5 centimeters by 25 centimeters. Okay? A picture that measures 30.5 centimeters by 25 centimeters is mounted on a frame with a margin of 2.5 centimeters round the picture. Please pay close attention to the question. Okay? They said a picture that measures this, that measures 30.5 centimeters by 25 centimeters is placed or is mounted on a frame with a margin of 2.5 centimeters round the picture. So we are asked to calculate the perimeter of the frame. Calculate the perimeter of the frame. Now, solution. Let's take note of this figure. This is the picture and this is the frame. All right? This is the picture and this is the frame. The picture measures 30.5 centimeters, which is the length, and 25 centimeters, which is the breadth or the width. Now we're asked to find the perimeter of the frame. So first of all, to get the length of the first thing to do here is to add the length, to get the actual length of the frame. So we're going to add both the length of the picture and the margin of the picture from the frame. I'll take that again. The first thing to do here, to get the length of the frame, we are going to add the length of the picture, which is 30.5 centimeters, with the margin, okay? The margin of the picture from the frame. So we have 30.5 plus 2.5 plus 2.5 to give us 35.5, okay? To give us 35.5 centimeters. Now, the width of the frame. Remember, this is the width of, this is the width, this is width, this is length. So we do the same thing. We add all together. We add this all up. Now, 25 plus 2.5 plus 2.5, which will give us 30 centimeters. Okay, to give us 30 centimeters. Now, to get the perimeter of the frame, since we now have both the length and the width of the frame, we use the formula. Okay, giving us 2 open bracket L plus W. We add 35.5 plus 30, and we multiply by 2. So our final answer here is 131 centimeters, meaning the perimeter of this frame is 131 centimeters. The perimeter of the frame is 131 centimeters. Now let's look at the last example. Find the perimeter of the shape ABCDEFGH if AB equal AH and AH equal BC and if HG equal FG. Okay, now the solution to this problem would be, since AB equals AH and AH equals BC and HG is equal to FG, so get CD here, we subtract AB from FE. Remember, our AB is giving us 8 centimeters, okay? So we subtract it from FE, which is 18 centimeters, and the answer we have is 10 centimeters. Therefore, since we have this, we have this, we have this, we have this, to get the perimeter, we simply add all together. We add everything here, we have here together, which is 8 plus 8 plus 10 plus 12 plus 18 plus 7 plus 8 plus 8 to give us 78 centimeters. Therefore, the perimeter of this very compound shape is 78 centimeters. Now, to see if we've been following all that we've learned today, let us take some evaluations. Number 1, calculate the perimeter of each of the following quadrilaterals. Okay, we're given this and we're given that. Number 2, work out the perimeter of the following. Okay, we have a rectangle here with the width and the length. The width and the length. We have to find the perimeter. B, we also have a figure here. We have to find the perimeter. And C, we should look for the perimeter. Number 3, the sides of a triangle are x plus 5 centimeters, 2x plus 4 centimeters, and 3x minus 3, 2x minus 3 centimeters. We asked A to find the perimeter of the triangle. Okay? Look at this very well and determine whether it's a scalene, isosceles, or equilateral triangle. We're asked to find the perimeter of the triangle, and we're given a figure for x. They said if x is equal to 10, find the perimeter of this triangle. Number 4, the longest side of a rectangle is 25 centimeters, and its perimeter is given as 80 centimeters. We're asked to find the length of the shorter side. You should know what to do. Number 5, the perimeter of an equilateral triangle is 15 centimeters. Find the length of the triangle. Find the length of the triangle. I will give us some few minutes to take up these evaluations. Now, solution. Solution A, we're asked to find the perimeter of this shape. The length was given as y centimeters, and the width or the breadth was given as x centimeters. So simply, the perimeter is 2. Since the formula for perimeter is given as 2 length plus width, we simply impute our values here. So P, the perimeter of this rectangle, therefore, is P equals 2 open brackets y plus x, okay? 2 open brackets y plus x. So that's our answer. The answer is 2 open brackets y plus x centimeters. Very simple and very short. Now B, we're asked to find the perimeter of this trapezium. This is a trapezium, and this is an isosceles trapezium. Remember, we said the formula for looking for an isosceles, the perimeter of an isosceles trapezium is P equal 2x plus y plus z. And we're given the length, okay? We're also given the width, okay? We're given the length of the 2 on equal sides, and we're given the length of just 1 equal side. So therefore, to find the perimeter, we first of all multiply 5 centimeters by 2. Why? Because it is equal. We have 2 sides equal, so it's double. So we multiply it by 2, and it gives us 10 centimeters. So we just add the rest values. We add 10 centimeters plus 6 centimeters plus 10 centimeters. Therefore, the perimeter of this shape, the perimeter of this trapezium is 26 centimeters. I hope you got that correctly. Number 2, we're asked to find the perimeter of this shape. Okay, we're asked to find the perimeter of this shape. We're given the length as this, and the breadth or the width as this. So simply, we use our formula, impute the values. Okay, we just impute the values. 2 open bracket 5 plus 2x plus 6x centimeters. So to get this, to just simplify it, we add the ones that are common. Okay, so 2 plus 6, 8. So we have 8x here. So we multiply it. 2 times 5, 10. 2 times 8, 16. So the perimeter for this, the solution, the answer to this question is P equal 10 plus 16x centimeters. That's the perimeter for this rectangle. Now, the B part of the question asks us to find the perimeter for this shape. Okay, now if you pay close attention to the markings, you will see that it indicates that these 2 parts are equal. Okay, and merely looking at this diagram, you will see that this length and this length are also equal. So we put the values. This is 8 centimeters and this is 15 centimeters. So to get the perimeter, we simply add all the figures together. Okay, 12 plus 15 plus 8 plus 8 plus 15 to give us 58 centimeters. Therefore, the perimeter of this shape is 58 centimeters. Now, the C question, we're asked to find the perimeter of this square. Okay, remember a square has 4 equal sides, and we're given just one figure in the question, but I have added all the remaining values because they are all equal sides. They are all equal. So we use the formula P equals to length plus length plus length plus length. And when we add it, we have 62.4 centimeters as the perimeter. Or simply, we just multiply the value for one of the length by 4 to also give us the same answer. I hope you got that correctly. Now, the next question. We're given this triangle. Okay, merely looking at it, you see that it's the Scalene Triangle. And we're given the values. And we're asked to look for the perimeter. The A question says we should look for the perimeter. So we impute the values in the formula. 2x minus 3 centimeters plus 2x plus 4 centimeters plus 8 plus x plus 5 centimeters. And when we do that, we add all the values carrying x. Okay, we just add it to simplify our answer. We have 5x centimeter plus 6 centimeters. So therefore, P is equals to 5x plus 6 centimeters. Now, we're asked to find the perimeter given that x equal to 10. Very simple. We substitute the value of x into this equation. So when we do that, P becomes 5 multiplied by 10, which is the x here, plus 6 centimeters. And the final answer is 56 centimeters. If you got that correct, please put your hands together for yourself. Number four, we're asked to look for the width. We're given the perimeter, we're given the length, okay? But we were not given the width. So we're asked to look for the width. So the perimeter has been given as 80 centimeters and the length as 25 centimeters. Simply, we impute the values into the formula. P is 80 centimeters and length 25 centimeters. So 80 centimeters equal to, open bracket, 25 centimeters plus the width, which is unknown. Okay, to get the width, we subtract 50 centimeters from 80 and we divide by 2. So therefore, our width is 15 centimeters. I hope you got that correctly. Now, finally, we're asked to look for the perimeter of this equilateral triangle. Okay, we're given just one side of the equilateral triangle, and we're asked to look for the perimeter. So perimeter of an equilateral triangle is equal to 3a. Okay, is equal to 3a, and we're given the perimeter. We're given the perimeter as 15 centimeters. So simply imputing it into the formula, P equals to 3a. 15 centimeters is equal to 3a. So to get our a, to get one side, which is the same thing as the length of the other side, because of course they are equal, you divide by 3. So a therefore is equal to 5 centimeters. A is equal to 5 centimeters. If you got that correctly, please put your hands together for yourself. So we've come to the end of the lesson for today. We learned a lot about perimeters. We learned about perimeters of plane shapes. We learned about perimeters of triangles, rectangles, and trapeziums, parallelogram. Please do well to go back and revise what we've learned. Till we meet in the next class. Thank you very much.